Masquerades Fox is something I go by on the internet, but I'll give a face to the name. I'm Danii. So I have a guide to pony journaling here. If you don't know what pony journaling is, that's probably because I made it up. So it's obvious by the title. Obviously, it's going to be a type of journaling that you can learn that has to do with our pony friends. So, yeah, a little background. Me, myself, I struggle with a few things like anxiety and depression and OCD, and doctors and counselors and stuff, all they said is, do journaling, do journaling. And I would try all these journaling techniques, and I'm like, this is boring. Whose idea was this? To make up all these journaling techniques that, I don't know, I feel like they're very solid in their ways, and they would never work for me. So I kind of just gave up. And they give you medication and stuff for anxiety, but it won't work. It's like a tool in your toolbox, and you gotta add to it. So they kept stressing journaling, and I could never, ever figure out where to go from that. So my solution was to make my own kind of journaling, which I'm going to totally describe to you. So two main things that make it work is creative and freedom. You can put those together, creative freedom. That's the most important part when journaling, because if you can't describe yourself in one streamlined way, then like having one streamlined way of journaling is not going to work for you, and there's no point. So the most important thing to remember is the whole point of a journal is to help you. If something doesn't work, change it. That includes what I came up with for the pony journaling technique. If there's something that you don't think you agree with, change it. It's not worth it. So it's all about your style. And scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Kitty Maker Crusaders, yay! Okay. So, how to do it. First of all, I'll start with how I came up with the journaling to begin with. Is I obviously watched Ponies a lot, and I had one day where I was sitting there watching Ponies. I can't remember what episode, but I was like, wow, I feel Fluttershy today. And I used her as an adjective. And I realized like I had connected with Pinkie Pie a lot, to the point where people would turn to me and be like, whoa, that's freaky, because we would do something that would make the exact same sense. But then I started realizing there's all these connections between what I do and what all the ponies do. That's how they're designed. You're supposed to connect with them. So I decided to expand upon that and write about it. And ta-da, pony journaling. So how it works is pretty simple. I built it around what I call the pony of the day system. It's really simple. You got your main six. Keep it to the main six, I'll teach you how to expand. But you pick a pony, whatever pony you want. You connect a word to that pony, and that's your writing topic for the day. So that day, when I watched the episode and I was like, I feel Fluttershy today. Okay, I have Fluttershy. What do I feel about Fluttershy? Well, you pick a word, and you can go from there. So what I said when we expand upon the main six is a writing thing I was taught in school is KISS, keep it simple, silly. So don't make anything too difficult, or you're gonna lose track of it. You can't write a novel. You can't. Or you'll give up on journaling right away, and it won't do you any good. So keep your POTD, Pony of the Day, yes, I came up with an acronym, as one of the main six. And another thing I did was connect it to the negative or opposite side of the pony, and that's what I call the Discord version. So when Discord messed with Applejack, she started lying. So if you felt in a day that you were a liar, you could connect to Discord Applejack instead of Applejack. And that can be your writing topic for the day. Wow, short arms. The other thing is your extra ponies, your background ponies. They can apply, but if you try to go through every single pony in one day, once again, you're gonna lose track of what you're actually writing about. So what I do is I use them as side notes. One of my favorite things to do, and I'll show you, stickers. They're my best friend. So I'll take one of the background characters, which they have in stickers, and I'll just face one of them and say, this is why I connect to that person. So if you're really into music for some reason that day, slap a vinyl scratch in there and describe your favorite song for the day, because that might be something you want to connect to. If it makes you feel good or it made you happy, it's something you can go back to and refer to, and that's the point of a journal. I have examples later, don't worry, this seems confusing. So making it work for you. One of the main problems I had with all those journaling techniques is like, well, write about your feelings. And I'm like, okay, I feel like this is really boring. But something I've expanded into with my journaling is I make graphs, I make tables, I draw pictures, I plaster these with stickers and sticky notes and everything. And it just makes you go like way deeper into the journaling and the writing. The other thing you can do is if it gets boring for you, there's lots of ways to adjust this to make it challenging for yourself. So one of the things I came up with is writing the opposite view of a problem. So if in the day you had maybe a fight with a friend or something, and you were really, really frustrated about it, and it was bugging you, a way to deal with it is either write about your side of it, but also write about their side of it. Because that way you can see both sides of it, and you might see that the problem is just really, really small and insignificant, and then you can get back to what you're doing. The other one is kind of a fun one, and it's more creative side, and that's write to Celestia about your opinion on how an episode ended. So if it was an episode where you learned something extra that Fluttershy didn't mention in that episode, then you could write to Celestia about what you think happened and what you personally got out of it. So these pictures are a little shady because I lost them for some reason, but I have a whole bunch of examples. This right here is my journal. Some of the stuff went missing. There was a fire at my house, but it smells like smoke. I didn't realize that. But in it, I have a few examples of what I did. The main thing is this one here. It's empty right now because I didn't want to taint you guys with what I have of the ponies. And what I do is I have a sticker of pony, and then most of the time, I will have a list of at least 6 words that I personally associate with that pony. So I have like a few examples. I'll only give you one, because you need to think of these yourself if you're going to try it. I'm only giving 1. Don't get 2.
It's not enough.
So for Applejack, for example, a word I would associate with Applejack would be determination. If you have the example where she won't give up until she bucks all the apples, that's really determined, and that's something I like about Applejack. So if I have a time in the day where I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this, I believe in myself, you can have Applejack and determination and write about how you connect to both. Other words I have, Rainbow Dash, I have confidence. Fluttershy, I have patience. Pinkie Pie is positivity. Rarity, I associate with extravagance, which I'm going to go into because that's technically a negative word. But the way I associate it is my second example up here and here. Look at that.
So I do get 2 examples.
This is technically, well, it's the same example. Laminated. Look at that. But I have it in here, and once again, my own personal style. I like labels, so I have labels, and I do everything by color. Everything has to match. I just feel like that way I can remember it and keep track of it and everything. So Rarity, I have a purple label, and I have the word extravagance, and then I have the colors of Rarity. So what I did for extravagance is the actual definition of it, I wrote it down because I keep forgetting it, is a lack of restraint in spending money or use of resources. So technically, you're spending money you probably shouldn't. But the reason I connect it with rarity is not because I think rarity is out of control or anything, but she has a lot of stuff, but she always seems happy with what she has. Like if we take when they go camping, she probably didn't need that huge tent, but it made her feel good to have that huge tent, and she enjoyed herself because of it. So me personally, I suck at buying things for myself, and my laptop likes to fall asleep. There we go.
Pour some coffee on it.
Huh?
Pour some coffee on it.
Oh yeah, that'll fix it. Yeah, so I feel bad when I buy myself something. If I spend even more than $10, I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have done it. It was so irresponsible. And it actually sometimes makes me have a panic attack. So the thing that I relate to rarity helps me organize everything. And this is one of those examples where you don't have to write in a page about your feelings. I turned it into a table. So I bought myself a while ago a Guess purse, and it's this really cool silver holographic purse. But it's Guess, so it's a brand name, so it's expensive. So I have like the date and what I bought and stuff, and then I decided to make a pros and cons list to really just sort out my thoughts on what I was buying and why. So the pros, I got $10 off. I got $10 off of the already sales price, which made me feel good. It was similar, yeah, this will go to one of my cons. It was similar to another purse I have. It has the same material, that same silver material, but it was a different style. So I was like, but I have one that looks like it, but I can use this way more logically. So that's the part that really bugged me, is I spent $80 on something that I kind of felt like I already had. But by writing it down, when I went through, I did stop in the middle. I didn't make it all the way through this one. But I did notice that I have more pros than I have cons. So seeing that visually calmed me down. And then I also have, I don't know if you can tell, but that's Cadence right there. And it's something I learned from Cadence, and I always associate Cadence as what she taught Twilight. And that's where you breathe in and breathe out. And I actually use that all the time, and that's a great way to calm down. So what I was telling myself there was, hey look, your pros outweighs the cons, calm down. Take a second and realize what you're doing. And then at the end, I just wrote a conclusion. I was like, okay, you had the money, you didn't go into debt, you had a reason, you enjoy it, get over it. And now anytime I have an issue with spending money, I can just go back to it. So basically, the journaling doesn't just have to be like, write down how you feel. It can be, this is a situation, this is how I feel about it, this is how I dealt with it. And you can go back to that. So if you have something that's similar, you can go back to it later. That's why I associate with color, is because I'm an organized person, so I put in file tabs and stuff like that, so I have a rarity section. So I'm like, okay, if I'm worried about buying something, I'll go back to where I have rarity and be like, oh, this is all the times, this is all the issues I had before, and I can go back to that and learn from that. So I don't have any examples of my drawings, but basically a journal doesn't have to be just writing, obviously. I doodle in mine. I've planned cosplays in mine. It's not one thing, because if you feel more connected to even just the journal in general, it can make it way easier. So I use mine as a notebook as well. Yeah, me justifying a person. And incorporating extra ponies. That's exactly what I showed with Cadence. It can be any background pony. In fact, I know a lot of people, like, some ponies aren't really taken that far in the show. But if you feel some way, or you have like Colgate, everybody's like, Colgate is a dentist, yay. Okay, you can go with that. Maybe that's how you connect to Colgate. So you can use all of them in a really cool way just to add to it. And then the Discord version, I could have technically used Rarities, Extravagance as a Discord version, but the main one I refer to would be the one in the the season opener. So she's like really, really greedy. So if I have a time when I feel really, really greedy, I can talk about it then with the Discord pony. And what I did with that is, obviously I do everything with stickers. There's a reason for that. I'm a visual learner. Maybe you're not, but it adds a little bit to the journal if you can go through and decorate it and have fun with it. So yeah, I have so many stickers. So many stickers. Hey, come on. Oh. School issued laptops, guys. Don't trust them. But there's not Discord pony stickers, so I've added some extra fun into mine, and I have this guy who's my best friend. It's just a little tiny craft punch, but you can just punch out a shape, and you can make your own stickers by drawing. So maybe if you're extra artistic, that's something you can add to it and have more fun with. Plus you get to make the punchy sound. Whoa, okay, goodbye. The other way is, the other issue I had with most journaling techniques is staying on track and being able to write every day or something like that. But I feel like if you enjoy it more, that's just easier. So you don't have to write every day. But I feel like you should put like a schedule on yourself, be like, I'll at least write one a week. One. And if you really, really like it, you'll just start writing more. That's one of the cool things I discovered as I did this. So maybe now that we have season 5, you write every time a new episode comes out. And then you'll start getting into a habit, and it just clears your thoughts and makes it better. Also Trixie and Derpy, because yay. So my final part is what I use to make a journal, because a lot of people associate a journal with just a little binded notebook. But I feel like that holds you back a lot. So that's why mini binders are my favorite thing in the world. In fact, I've only been in the States for about 3 days, and I bought one. And also like Pinkie Pie moment, an Applejack moment. It's really funky. $2 though. That's a lot less than a normal notebook. And if you don't like a page, you can take it out. You can move your pages around, you can organize it. Laminators are my best friend. This is Pony scrapbook paper, which they have a lot of, which is really cool. And I just made a front page because I can. And you can also stick stuff to it, which is really cool. Sticky notes are my best friend. Okay, goodbye. What? I have bad luck with this kind of stuff. So yeah, the coolest thing about a binder, or a mini binder, I would say, don't use a full-size binder. I tried that, it's big, and that's simple. So all I did is this one, personally, is a Martha Stewart Avery binder, and you can get that at Staples, Office Depot, stuff like that. And they're not very expensive at all, like I said, $2 for that one. And the paper is sold there as well, and you get like 300 sheets for like $3, which is a little bit more expensive than big paper, but you can also make this paper yourself really, really easily. So if you are somebody who wants to sketch, you can take 8.5 by 11, cut it in half, and you're good. So it's really, really versatile and one of the best ways, I would say, of doing it. But once again, if you don't like that, you don't have to do it. It's about making it work for you. So the next one is stickers and decorations, which you can totally tell that I like. One of the best options, I would say, is sticker rolls. These used to be rolls. They got horribly, horribly squished. But they come in 3 in one thing for $2 in Toys R Us. And you have, who do I have in here? I have the Cutie Mark Crusaders. I have Shining Armor and Cadence, all the main 6. You get a whole bunch of extra stickers like crowns and crowns and crowns and crowns and flowers. But they're just really easy to decorate with and have a lot of fun. And you can also use them for color coding, which is one of my best friends. The other thing I have that is really cool is, again, really super cheap, Walmart. And this one has background ponies in it. So even if you don't care about journaling, now you have background pony stickers. There, see. I got a diamond tiara and silver spoon and the Wonderbolts and, wow, Discord, Gilda, a guard. Sorry, we don't know your name. Okay. I'm having good luck with this. So yeah, once again, really cheap, really fun to find. There's tons. These are apple scented. Scratch and sniff. So yeah, Toys R Us, Dollar Store, Walmart. Super cheap, and it just adds so much more fun into it. The last thing is writing utensils. And me, I like colors. I don't like boring old black pens and stuff like that. So I have my favorite pens in the world, and those are Papermate Flares. They're felt tip. So, good, I didn't want you anyway. So they're way easier to write with, and once again, you can incorporate colors. In my rarity one, for example, I wrote in like the purple that's from Remain, and then I divided it with like the blue pen, like her cutie mark. So it's just artistic things that I threw into there to make it more fun. And yeah, pencil, always have a pencil. Even if you write in pen and you like pen better, always have a pencil. It'll be your best friend. Want to write in all black? You can do it. It just feels like you can point out your really big points and stuff like that, and you can just have more fun with that. So yeah, that's all I have for telling you how to do it, but I can take questions if anybody has any. Oh.
Okay, so you said earlier that you also do graphics. Do we have an example
Of a graph?
Or what do you do?
Some of the things I've done is, like I said, I don't just use it for my writing. I use it when planning things. So I've used it to add up costs of things. Like for this trip, for example, I'm from Canada, so I had to take a plane and I had to pay for the hotel, and it all added up. And having all these things added up together got really confusing. So I did just put together a graph, which is really easy to do with lined paper. Either that or this technically counts as a graph as well, where I put the ponies' names and words I associate with them. And I just added up all the costs, and then I had a graph, and I knew how to deal with it all. So that was really a really cool way of doing graphs and stuff like that, but that sounds really boring. So draw instead, unless you're me, I guess. Are there any other ones? You can ask all the questions.
There's a question back here.
Oh, is there?
You could ask first.
Okay. You can go first.
Okay. So, in a lot of stickers and all the pens like that, that was a very interesting tool. Are there any other interesting tools that you use?
I have Stencils. There's a really cool stencil book you can get. I believe I found it at Toys R Us, but you're supposed to use it to make like the fashion design ones where you can put clothes on them and stuff, but it has manes and head shapes and wings and stuff like that. And I've used that to do my drawings and stuff like that. Like I messed around with making my own OC character, which actually turned out to be an orange Appaloosa Pegasus, which was really fun. But yeah, I've used that stencil a lot. It has bows and cutie mark crusaders in it and stuff. So yeah, anything you see that you can fit into your book, I'd say use. It's all fun and games from there. Okay, want to ask yours?
Yeah, I know that anxiety and depression are kind of chronic diseases, but how have you found journaling, like what sort of effect did starting this pony journaling have on these symptoms that you're having?
I would say the biggest is one of the things I have with anxiety is once I start freaking out, I can't think straight. It's all kind of one jumbled mess. So especially you can see with my tables and graphs and stuff, it's getting everything from my brain that I'm freaking out about into one place, and on paper I can sort it and prioritize from there. And then instead of everything in my brain just running around and then I'm worrying about it once, I can write it down and look at it and be like, wow, that's actually only 4 things that I was having a heart attack about, and this one isn't even until tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about it. So just going through and having everything written down and being able to actually physically have something just kind of clears your head and makes it way easier to deal with things.
And just a quick comment. Journaling is scientifically proven. They've done double-blind placebo studies over the course of the past 20 years to improve mental health. And so your technique is genius, because we're all here, you know, because we connect with these ponies in a different way. They all say something about who we are. So kind of allowing the ponies to help you on that journey of jumbled thoughts we all have, the negativity, the self-deprecating, is just a really beautiful way of kind of doing it in a fun, safe way without that, I feel depressed and I want to kill I mean, it's heavy. This kind of brings a little levity to it, which might make it easier for some people. So I want to bravo this.
Thank you.
It's great. We're life coaches, and I try to teach my kids a lot about, and people we work with about expressing themselves and seeing what truly is the issue, right? And I love how you take the ponies and it gives you structure to not, like you have something to pull from now. I just think it's really,
Yeah.
I love it. So you go, girl. I love it.
Thank you. You want to go next? Yeah, that's great. I'm glad. Here, wait. Here, that'll start you on your journey. They're sparkly! Yes! I love sparkly stickers. Yeah. I found them at the exact same places. So Staples, Office Depot, and Walmart has them. They'll be around the same area. I've never seen them in separate places, but yeah, they're a little bit harder to see, obviously. But if not, like I said, take a full sheet of paper and just cut it in half, and it's the perfect size, which is really, really cool. Makes it easier. Yeah, it's just half of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And then you can hole punch, and hole punch wrong. Yay! You gotta try it the first time. Honestly, you will hole punch it wrong, which is kind of weird, but yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Woohoo! Did you have one? Yeah.
No, I just also kind of want to echo what you said and commend you for finding a way to make it work out for you. I know just journaling out of the blue might not work for a lot of people, but doing it in a way that you really enjoy, that's something I'm sure all of your therapists are very proud of you for doing that.
Yeah, having the topic makes everything easier, because it's the same with like school projects and stuff like that. If they're just like, okay, you gotta write a thing about a thing, you're like, oh no, like I'm gonna leave this to last minute. But if you have a topic and it's a topic you care about, it is so easy to start writing. And if you love it and you like following the show and stuff like that, and you can grow with the characters as you write, it makes it so much more enjoyable. So yeah. Is that everything then? Oh no.
It's a real question. Do you
Okay.
find that you write more with one specific pony than any of the others?
I have to say maybe Applejack and actually Rarity, because like I said, I have the problem with not being confident in myself when buying things, and also asking for help. That's one of the #1 things I write about with Applejack, is not like being afraid to ask for help, or like just being like, no, I'm confident, I can do this. Yeah, I would probably say Applejack and Rarity the most. Pinkie Pie, like, I don't need to expand upon, because I think we're the same mentally. It's kind of weird. We have this one time where we connected because Pinkie like does things that kind of break the fourth wall and stuff, and I had this one time where I started clapping, the lights would turn on and off, and nobody was near the light switch, and we don't know what happened, but it made me feel good until I clapped one more times and the lights stayed on. So it was, the illusion was gone. That's everything then? Oh, okay.
So these practices can be applied to, like, say, blogs and that sort of thing, yes?
Oh yeah, I would totally think it would work electronically, especially if you need to narrow it down, because I know a lot of blogs go for days, like me talking goes for days. So definitely, I would say you can apply it to a blog or something like that, for sure. Even my laptop is denying me. That's good. Okay, thanks guys.